First video of 2024. This video is a little bit different from the previous videos I've made. As you read by the title, this one is an art video. But Mel, you've already done speed paint, and you've already done talks over your speed paints. What's the difference in this one? The difference is, I asked for your guys' help. On my Discord server, I had announced that I made a new little text channel for you to input at least 5 to 6 emojis with some type of aesthetic, and I will draw them out. So I picked 3 emoji sets and decided to draw them. The theme for this one was night sky, mainly because there were a lot of night ones and starry ones, so I thought, why not? So with the help of you guys giving me these emojis, I have made these art pieces. I hope you guys enjoy. The first emoji set I went was this one. It consisted of a hyacinth, space invader, an umbrella, the cloudy rain, and the Milky Way. Looking at the space invader emoji, I decided to take the approach of pixel art. And boy was it rough. My initial idea that I had sketched on my sketchbook was to have a girl sitting in a pathway as the hyacinths help focus onto her, with the night sky in the background and rain pouring, because we've all seen, at least I hope we all have, a rainy day when the sun was still out. I like to call those days dragons getting married. So I decided to take that approach, but in the night sky instead. The sitting pose was a bit difficult to draw because mainly, I suck at anatomy. No matter how many practices I do, I can never get it right. I also want to say that I was using my old drawing tablet for this one, which means I had to get used to this. This tablet doesn't have a screen. It's one of those ones where you just hook up to the computer and you use it while looking at the monitor. The tablet I mainly used was a screen tablet, and it was kind of similar to like a touch screen tablet. But the stylus was being mean to me, and it kept right-clicking and making random dots, and I just literally could not get anything done. So I had to resort to my old one. So bear with me, as most of these art pieces aren't the best. Since this is Clip Studio Paint, I wasn't sure how to make pixel art, so I downloaded this Worms pixel brush set on Clip Studio Paint. And yeah, not much is said afterwards. I did struggle a bit trying to figure out how lines worked and why some of the lines looked a bit off and how to make it look better. But at some point I just kind of gave up. After finishing the liner on the girl, I decided to focus on the color of the background in order to help me pick out the basis of what the girl's colors would be. Looking at some ideas on Pinterest and how backgrounds look like for pixel art, I came up with this. It's not the best, but I do think it looks really nice, and it created that nice little pixel gradient effect that you see in like video games and stuff. I wanted the girl to blend in with the background, but not too much to where, you know, she kind of morphed with it. So I made her hair a dark purple and gave her a nice tan cardigan with a blue skirt and black little shoes on. The hyacinths were the hardest part, I would say, mainly because I couldn't exactly get the brush to go in a bigger size as a pixel, because if I made it a bigger size, it just meant it was a bigger size and the pixels didn't change. I'm not really good at drawing flowers or making a nice aesthetically pleasing background, so I just made them look more like corn on a cob. But the issue was, I wanted to blur these flowers to help focus more on the girl, but, you know, still show that the hyacinths are there. When I blurred it, they looked a lot like Dialdo's, so I Control-Z'd all of it and asked my sister what I could change, because even she said it looked like Dialdo's. She told me to add little flowers just to indicate the fact that they are indeed hyacinths, so I was like, okay, I will do that. And I did, and honestly, it helps a lot better. Also, I didn't know Clip Studio had a mosaic effect, so that was new to me. I decided to help, you know, give that nice little blur effect to the flowers, but I think overall it just made it look weird. I did put a mosaic effect on the front raindrops just to give it that nice little illusion that it's raining a lot, you know. For the raindrop effect, I just put an overlay effect over it and just colored it white. I wanted it to be shiny, but I didn't want it to just be a simple white color, so that's the one I went with. Overall, I really did enjoy this art piece, mainly because I tested my limits on how to pick colors. I didn't just use a color effect and make it adjust to everything or in the background or anything. So I felt very proud about this in the end. However, this came with a price. I'll explain later. On to the next set. The next set consisted of a balloons emoji, a ZZZ emoji, a cat, a blue square, and the starry night sky with the city in the background. Now the sketch I initially had in my sketchbook was to have the cat playing on a rooftop with a balloon and the city being shown in the background. However, I completely disregarded the ZZZ and I was back at square one. I then came up with the idea of maybe drawing the cat next to a window sleeping with balloons in the background of the room to show like it was a birthday and have the reflection of the glass show the city. But it was 12 AM and I had a deadline for this video. But backgrounds are not my strong suit and I did not want to put that much brain power into perspective. So I scrapped that idea and went with a more simpler design. A cat sleeping on a bench with a balloon tied to its paw and the city be shown in the background. Not as creative as the first one, I would say. And the reason for that is because I used up all my artistic abilities just for that first one. Now I know to at least try and even out my artistic abilities among these drawings, Among Us. I wanted the theme of the colors to match the blue aesthetic in the night sky. However, there's so much you can do with blue, especially with someone who doesn't understand color theory and how it works. Seriously, do any artists understand color theory? Because I know I fucking don't. I was gonna make the cat orange, but, you know, blue and orange might make a green, and it's gonna look a bit off, and it's probably gonna look like seafoam green or something. Green? Green? Green. Like Shrek. So I just decided to do a gray cat with a blue balloon. And yeah, the balloon was blending in with the background. I just couldn't figure out how the background should have looked like in the first place. I was struggling a little because I knew I wanted it to be cartoonish and I wanted it to stand out, similar to like a Steven Universe background, but I just couldn't comprehend how to make it work. Maybe in the future I'll redo this drawing and fix it up in a way that I will be happy with. But since I wasn't happy with it, just like I say in all my art streams, let's add effects and cover up our shitty art. I added a blur effect over the drawing to give it that nice dreamy effect, and then I added these circle thingies that are used in like manga and anime to help give it a more dreamy aesthetic for the cat is sleeping, and add sparkles to things that didn't need sparkles. And voila! It's finished. Not the best, but the cat is adorable, so that's fine. On to the final piece. The final piece I picked had a Milky Way, the comet, the stars, a shooting star, and the Star of David. Looking at these, you're probably thinking, oh, Mel just made a scenery background and just made stars and blah 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 and made it like have comets in the background. Hey, you're only half right, okay? Looking at the Star of David emoji, I noticed it looks a lot like a magical circle, like a summoning circle. So I decided to draw a girl summoning a meteor shower. Yeah, that was it. I also realized that while making this girl, I kind of made her color aesthetic look like the first girl I drew. The thing is, I wanted this art piece to resemble my main art style. However, since I was using a different tablet, my pens weren't cooperating with me. The summoning circle I had drawn into a different canvas area because I needed it to be its own little circle so that I could just rearrange it into the canvas. Now this is the part that really tested my abilities, because drawing summoning circles are one of the things I really wanted to get good at. But I don't know how you guys do it. How do you guys just come up with all these beautiful, like aesthetically looking circles? I came up with this. Also, if you notice, the sketch version had a more complex drawing design for her dress, but I decided to scrap all that because I felt like it was a bit too much for a girl who just decided to summon a meteor shower, so I made it simple and elegant. Nothing more to it. And just like the last drawing, we add a bunch of effects to cover up the shitty art. And there we go. So here are the 3 drawings that I drew in today's video. I'm not really sure how to do videos like this. I kind of got inspired by Hana Q and how she always drew her, viewers' OCs. And I was like, why not do that with emojis that my viewers send in? So there we go. My favorite one out of all of these is this one, mainly because I had spent most of my time on this one instead of the other ones. So that was on my bad. Now I know for the next video to not do that. That one probably won't come out until like a couple months from now because trying is hard. Before I go, I want to give a lovely thanks to the people who became members when I first announced that we finally have members. So thank you. Friendly reminder that you do not have to be a member to support my channel. Simply being a subscriber and a viewer is just as special as being a member. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, whatever time it is where you are, and remember you're beautiful.